Baseline is a leading serverless-first framework designed to empower startups with the tools and technology needed to build and scale digital products efficiently. Founded by Ken Konchevsky and Thomas Nixon, Baseline offers a comprehensive solution for businesses, allowing them to focus on their core strengths and achieve rapid growth. With its innovative approach to tech development, Baseline is set to redefine the startup landscape. Founder Ken Konchevsky joins me now. Ken, lovely to see you. First of all, tell me, what is Baseline?
Yes, thank you for having me. So Baseline is a technology framework that gives you the 3 to 6 months worth of software development out of the box. So if you're a startup or a product team looking to build a digital product, either a web or a mobile application, it gives you all of the mandatory aspects of building those things out of the box.
What are some of the sticking points, the pain points, if you will, that tech startups face?
So we've been lucky enough to be part of many different startup journeys, and even to date, we're part of one every month, the building and launching of them. And what we find is every founder has a different journey, but many of the pain points are very similar. So either they raise capital and they don't know where to start. So they either have a tech founder or they don't. And a lot of the time they use the different skill sets that they have in the room, and down the track, that can actually be pretty costly for them because, you know, the product has outgrown their team or the stack that they built it with, or sometimes they're building with a prototype in mind and then building a minimum viable product, an MVP at a later date. And that's where with Baseline, if you're able to deploy that and build on it right from the start, it takes a lot of those pain points of decision making, bespoke development, and all the different decisions that need to get made, but also doesn't carry the burden of some of those decisions later. It actually is there to enable them.
Can you just elaborate on how Baseline is addressing such issues like that?
Yeah, on a technical perspective, there's things called CI/CD, which is continuous improvement, continuous development, and you get that out of the box. So sometimes, it's a very necessary part to software development, and it can take teams time to figure out how they want to manage these things. And Baseline gives you that out of the box. So you're essentially not needing to focus on the administration or developer operation side of building a product. You deploy it and you start to build what's important to your startup from day one.
And what's a time frame for something like this? Like, how quickly are we talking?
Yeah, so traditionally, these things used to take us even, weeks, if not sometimes months. But I think more importantly, it's 4 or 5 or 6 years of us continuously improving the process that you get out of the box. So like I said, at a later date, decisions that you made at the start could be pretty limiting. We've been through all those pain points and we've applied that to Baseline. So you're not only getting the initial 3 to 6 months of development out of the box, but you're also getting decisions that you need to make 1 or 2 or 3 years later, and you're able to do them with confidence thanks to a framework that's thought about them from the start.
And that must really add to the business experience as well, particularly for you because you've lived it.
Definitely. As I mentioned, another big part as a business owner, or like let's say a founder that's non-technical, is that when you look to build a digital product, it can use a lot of different languages and technologies. The stack can get pretty complex pretty quickly. So for us, we've built it with one language in mind, and that's JavaScript, or TypeScript and JavaScript. So that means that a software developer is able to build anything from the front end web to the back end of the actual product as a full stack and not need to learn any other tools or languages. And I think that's been really important when it comes to building out products, because when you have 5 or 6 different people managing different parts of the application, and some people are quicker than others and some people only specialize in different areas, that can cause a lot of different bottlenecks in the future when it comes to managing it. Where with Baseline being TypeScript everywhere, we're able to actually apply different resources to different aspects of the application at different times when they're needed.
And as you said, it can be quite a costly process and overwhelming too for startups.
Definitely. A big part of Baseline is that it's cloud native. So what that actually means is we are using all of the cloud services that AWS offer. And the best way to look at that is nothing is a fixed server. Everything is more like a utility. So it's like water or electricity. You don't go and build a power plant to use electricity. You use it as a utility. And the way that Baseline has been built and architected, we are essentially using AWS's infrastructure as a utility. So as you grow, your bill might get bigger, but the difference is that at the start, you're only using a little, you only pay for a little. And as you grow, you start to pay more, but it's significant, like from our experience, it's significantly cheaper even as you scale to some of the traditional tech stacks that we've inherited.
So which successful companies to date have used Baseline?
So we've collaborated with many different companies with many different sizes. Notably, we have startups like Z Recruitment in the recruitment space who are doing a lot of transactions a week. We've worked with the likes of Sarah's Day, which she has the Sunny app, which was number one on the App Store. Just to mention with Z Recruitment, the number one childcare recruitment app in Australia, and as I mentioned with Sunny, that was the number one health and fitness app in Australia and America. And we've got others that are in like hospitality, CleverQ, which is a high growth startup, just to mention a few.
What's been the feedback? Why are they choosing Baseline?
I think Baseline's been, Baseline gives you the first 3 months out of the box. So if you're looking to build a digital product, rather than looking at hiring a CTO and a product engineer and a solution engineer, and having all these people in a room looking to build a product from scratch, we're ultimately giving them that out of the box. And then not only that, it incorporates processes for people and not just the technology. And I think that's been a real key differentiator and a key value prop for a lot of these founders.
So how does Baseline cater to startups with non-technical founders?
So as I mentioned, if you're a non-technical co-founder, you're looking for someone technical to help you build your product. So if you want to use something that's being used by companies that are scaling to the size that you're looking to achieve, Baseline has done that. And we've done that successfully with a lot of different clients. And a lot of them have been scrutinized by VCs, venture capital firms, by large top 20 ASX listed companies that are looking to invest. So we've been through that process, and you're getting all of that out of the box. So if you were to build a new product tomorrow and you don't have a technical co-founder, you could deploy Baseline, hire someone technical to start building the product, and not be worried about potentially rewriting it in the future.
So can you give some examples of the kind of support and resources that you're offering to help them understand and therefore effectively use the framework?
Yeah, so with our services company, we launch digital products every 4 weeks. So we see what that looks and feels like for different startups. So in our early access program, we're actually giving people not only a license to Baseline, but also the support needed to building a digital product so early on.
Can you provide some detail about the level of support that's offered and how it can be tailored?
Yeah, so because we get to see so many different products launch, as I mentioned, we build and launch a product every 4 weeks. We're able to take a lot of those learnings from all of those different startups and bring them into the early access program when it comes to fostering a startup's idea and taking it to market. So essentially, a lot of the tacit knowledge around the do's and don'ts, or more so providing them with case studies or examples of where others have been successful and how that might be relevant to their startup to help accelerate the first couple of months of their business.
So how are you integrating existing technologies and systems that a startup, say, might already be using?
Yeah, good question. So we are AWS partners. So Baseline is built on AWS. We use Stripe partners as well. So when you look to do payments, we've done many different integrations. So from Salesforce, HubSpot, a lot of the SaaS product offerings that startups or enterprise clients use, we've done those types of integrations, and they work really well within Baseline.
Is there a community around Baseline that startups can tap into for networking or problem solving or collaboration opportunities as well?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a Slack channel where we manage a lot of the community, and TypeScript in itself and JavaScript is a pretty thriving community that we're part of. And on a local level, we recently signed up for Fishburners. So we'll be there assisting a lot of different startups with their journey and building a community around the technology side of those things as well.
So as we approach 2024, what is the future map for Baseline?
Well, I think for us, any startup looking to build their product, a lot of the time, things that come out of their mouth is we're going to use AWS, we're going to use Stripe, and we want it to be the third thing they say is Baseline. So for us, we want to be part of every startup's journey. So when they look at building their product, it's something that they're familiar with and they know exists and they've seen the runs on the board, and we want to be part of those journeys. So we're hoping that 2024 is a way for us to launch the early access program, see what it's like for a lot of these startups, make any adjustments we need, and then try and onboard as many startups as we can.
Has the success and growth of the company exceeded your expectation?
Yeah, definitely. So for us, a lot of what we did was pretty organic at the start. It was a problem that we were solving for ourselves, and then seeing the excitement from AWS and Stripe and all of our different partners and how it can be used to solve many of their problems, as well as for us, we're pretty passionate about startups. I think that's been pretty exciting.
Well, lovely to chat to you, Ken. Thank you so much for joining us, and all the best in 2024.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.